Okay. Why there are human beings? Please explain details about that.
Yeah, Mr. Shim, we were just, having a good discussion about currently at the public school system, right? If I use Chinese language to put into Google, says 为什么有人类? I do a Google research, right? Let's say I'm a child in the public school system, and I'm just very curious about why there are human beings, Then I do Google research. So I do 为什么有人类? A Chinese child, right? And what I actually got is like from the top to bottom, pages after pages, the answer is the following. Pretty much consensus. Don't ask why there are human beings because there is no meaning to it. Human beings come from nothingness because according to evolution theory, which is now being considered to be the truth and being taught in the public school system, right? Basically, the answer is that, this is textbook information. And even little child at the third grade, if you ask the child, where the human being comes from, if the child is a good student, they will recite what they learned in the textbook. They will say that, we were from monkey. We're from monkey. We're animal, right? We belong to animal, they say, right? So then even you look deeper into it, it goes like this, pretty much like the scientific, understanding. According to modern science, it goes like this. Long time ago, at the very beginning, there was only inorganic substance. Inorganic. What are the inorganic things? Like the stones and the wood, those are like the inorganic stuff. So the inorganic thing then gradually, turn into organic. I think the theory goes like this, like the lightning, hit the earth and created a chemical reaction and then start to turn certain inorganic molecule into organic molecule because they know that, when there is life, so-called, according to scientific terminology, when there is life phenomena, then the molecules are different from those who have no life phenomena. They consider like stone. They think stone is dead. They think that ant is alive. You compare ant and stone, then you see the ant actually has organic molecules. So there is one first step is from inorganic to organic due to heat, light, bring a chemical reaction and to create something called organic molecule become more complex. Like our body right now, we know made of protein, it's organic molecule, okay? So protein, nucleic acid, protein is made of amino acid. Those are the science terms. That's called, organic molecule. So the theory of evolution goes, currently, so-called theory of evolution, not the Darwin's. Darwin doesn't know protein and amino acids and inorganic and organic yet. But right now, the modern scientists that they put together a theory, also under the banner of the evolution theory, is that from inorganic to organic, from low species to high species, from water to land, and then from monkey to man. You see the chart?
Yeah.
Right? The evolution chart? Like, the monkey, gradually stand up, right? Something like that. So all the modern people right now, humanity, consider this to be truth, that man comes from evolution. But nobody really asked the question called 为什么有人类? Like, why there are human beings? People don't ask that question because science cannot answer why. Science try to answer how, right? So if you say how human being exists, how human being comes about, then they will say it's from evolution. But then if you ask the evolution scientist, the greatest one, even win Nobel Prize, let's say that person in the modern science field, or the Nobel Prize laureate, you ask them, why are they human beings? If you ask that question about why, they were like, why? There is no why. It's just there. Right? Why? These concerns about the purpose. They think there is no purpose. Scientists think that there is no purpose in this world. Everything is random. Everything is chance. Everything is chaos. It just come about. They refuse to answer the question of why. So nobody ever in the modern science field even raised the question about why are they human beings. Because they think that this is gonna make people crazy. There's no chance people know why they are human. Human is just human. This is just part of nature. Nature decided there is human, there is tree, there is this, and there is that. So why you ask why? There's no such... This question doesn't exist. Do you know what I mean? So Master Lee published an article on January 20th, 2023. And on Dachi newspaper. Okay. So the title is 为什么有人类? Master Lee is not asking the question. Master Lee is answering the question. Master Lee is answering the question, 为什么有人类? That's why this article is incredibly shocking. It's going to shock everybody. It's going to shock the greatest scholars of mankind. Because nobody ever even dared to ask the question. But the Master Lee is answering it. For the first time for the whole mankind to know why. First of all, if you have see this title, this alone is already telling you that there is a purpose for mankind to exist. There is a very specific purpose for mankind to exist. Definitely it's not random. That's number one importance of this article. I recognize. I was very, kind of shocked to read the title because in my background, this is what I see, how the current state of mankind is. How mankind is viewing this phenomenon called a human being. And absolutely, the whole field is dark. There is absolutely no truth. There is no light. There is no one ever even dare to bring it up. And such an important question, nobody dare to even raise. But Master Lee is answering it. And answer it in such a way that any human being actually recognize that it is true. It doesn't require any scientific validation for it. It goes straight into people's heart. People will say, it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? After reading Master Lee's answer, everybody goes, it makes sense. Do you know what I mean? That's how incredible the truth is truth. Why it is truth. You don't need other people who don't know the truth to validate it. Nobody knows it. Nobody knows it. Okay, if you have a child who has a mother, do you know what I mean? And the child was lost for many, many years. And the child came home and the mother gave the child an embracement. Does the child have to say, show me you're my mother. Prove me you're my mother. Do you know what I mean? No, it doesn't require anybody to prove to the child that this is your mother. Because the child feels the embracement of the mother. And the child knows, that's my mama. Do you know what I mean? So that's why, if you have a great truth that are delivered to mankind, and the truth is delivered in such a way that cut the dirt and disperse all falsehood. And everybody read, wow, I'm shocked, but it's true, it's true, it's true. Do you know what I mean? It's just true. they don't need anybody to say anything about that. They just know it is true. Okay. So then, I would say that currently, due to many other wrong ideologies and covering people's mind, and maybe some people, they are so lost. They say, I don't know whether you're my mother or not, you know what I mean? There are certainly those people out there. But I want to say something that, if you are asking me, what do I understand it, right? I gradually, a little by a little, every day after the publication of the article, every day I meditate on it. Every day during the meditation, I starting to ask certain questions and gradually to clarify more and more and more about my questions. And then I recognize that even myself, after cultivating, for all these years, almost 23 years now, Master Li's teaching, the truth is so profound. If you just ask a little more questions, you will start to see that it's deep. It's so deep that you need to keep on reading it. You cannot just read it once. You need to keep on reading it. And really, every time when you read it, you will actually get more. This is a little secret I want to share with everyone. Don't just read it once. Read it every day. Read it again and again and again. And I guarantee you will starting to have lots of questions because this is such a big subject. It's too big. 为什么有人类? This title is so big that if you really understand, then I say you are home. You know what I mean? You're truly home. That's how valuable this teaching is. Okay. So when I read, a couple of things I want to share with you about, when I read 为什么有人类? First of all, as a modern science, researcher, frontier life science researcher in my past journey, I was really the top-notch scientist, right? And I studied the formation of the human body. That's my profession. Now, what is the most current understanding of human body formation? The modern science already went into all the details about how the sperm hit the egg, become a fertilized egg, and how the one fertilized egg divide, form a ball of cells, and how the ball of the cells start to differentiate into 3 layers, ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, and how the different layers of the cells start to move, shape, at different stages of the mom's pregnancy, and eventually form the outside, the top layer called ectoderm, forms the skin and the brain. The middle layer called the mesoderm forms the muscle and the skeleton. And the bottom layer called the endoderm forms our guts and the inner organs. The details of the unfolding of this beautiful human body at the cellular level is totally revealed by modern science. The entire process is revealed. Okay. And why the cells can do such a beautiful work together, like a dance, like you see the Shen Yun show on stage. The dancers form different patterns through the dance. So the entire formation of the human body is a beautiful dance. So beautiful, it's incredible. It's really incredible. So can randomness create that? Can random action create that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. The human body formation alone, it already shows that this is a drama at the microcosmic level. It is life displayed at its most magnificent way at the microcosmic level. Do you know what I mean? So the most frontier life science researchers like myself, we don't believe in evolution. There's no chance that randomness can can allow the human body to be so perfect. For the human body to operate in such a miraculous way of supreme art, supreme beauty. Do you know what I mean? It's incredibly beautiful about life. So for me, right, that's why I think scientists, the best scientists, should be the first one who find gods. So when I read Master Li's teaching, I knew Master Li has the truth. You know? So when Master Li, give this article, Master Li talks about several very, very incredibly important truths. From the very beginning, Master Li talks about the most critical law of the universe. I'd like you to pause it and start a new one. Pause it.
Okay.
Pause it, just temporarily stop it.